Sheesh. Man.
Tell him I run it up. Couple hundreds in the bag. I'm off the purse in them Zans, yeah. I've been living way too fast, yeah. Living too fast, yeah. Living too fast, yeah. They telling me slow it up. They telling me slow it up. Tell them I'm chasing the bag. I left the hate in the past. I married the money, I made it my wife. I'm in love with the cash. You don't know what I've been through. Gotta go hard, that's the move. Either you win or you lose. You try me, my nigga, I'ma shoot. Streets told me how to get that money and live my life. I was like, right, remember them nights. Hearing the sirens, but you don't see life.
Alright guys, so I went to the lot last night. Blew a tire. Gotta change it. Figured I'd give you guys a little vlog. Show you guys how I change a Harley tire by hand. No machine other than an air compressor. Once again, this is a 1995 Harley Davidson Sportster 883.
Just hit a button, Morty. Give me a beat.
Motor's pretty much stock. I'm gonna have a walk around on it, show you guys my parts breakdown and what I've done to it to make it a stunt Harley. Still running a belt, so it's gonna be pretty similar to a stock, if not the same to a stock Harley. It's a little bit easier because I don't have the fender in the way, so I have an advantage over some people. One thing, my belt has broken a few times in the 1200 versus the 883's belt is a little bit longer. So I do have to move my axle bolt forward a little bit to get the belt off. Normally, if your belt was the correct size, it would be in front of this bolt right here. It wouldn't hit that when you're trying to slide the axle bolt out the other side, and it'd be a lot easier. You wouldn't even have to adjust your belt tension. You just change the tire and throw it back on, not even mess with these, but unfortunately I have to back these out, push the axle forward, then slide the axle out. So first things first, let's get this rear tire off, and then I'll show you guys how to take the tire off by hand like the way I do it. The process for me to get this rear tire off, I'll put the bike up on straight up and down, and I'll show you guys a little time lapse and make a little montage, but pretty much all I'm gonna do is take the cotter pin out, take this nut off, take this washer off, set it aside, and then tighten these. We'll loosen them really until they're backed out all the way almost to the end. On both sides, slide the axle forward. That way the bolt doesn't hit this bolt right here. The axle bolt doesn't hit this shock bolt. And I'm gonna slide it all the way out and then take the belt off, move it over on the other side of the shock so it's out of the way. The caliper and the bracket will stay in the same position on the swing arm. You shouldn't have to mess with your brake or decompress your piston on the rotor or anything like that. So that's all it is, and then I'll show you guys how I change the tire by hand with just a couple of spoons. Okay, so now that I got the tire off, you can really see that I ruined it. Drifting around and you start going to the right more. But it's pretty much done. I still had to ride home with my girlfriend on the back. The lot's not that far from my house, so I had to keep it streetable. Sometimes I lay a towel down, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I use Mike's Grom tire. But really, I just put it in the grass. I try to put the pulley side down because I don't want to mess with it. I take my bearing, my spacers out. You can keep them on the side that they came out of, rotor side. Just keep it on the rotor side of the bike. And the other side probably just fell into the grass. Yep. I forgot to take it out. I'm gonna put that one on the pulley side. And then you take your air out here. You're supposed to use a valve core tool. I don't. This tire really wasn't holding air to begin with, so it's pretty much flat. So, whatever. And I'm gonna show you guys how I debead the tire. No debeading tool, no truck, no shovel, just a seat clip. It might scratch up your wheels a little bit, but hey, it's a stunt bike. So yeah, you just kind of put it right about there so you get a little bit of the lip. And then we'll just keep pushing it in tiny until it pops. Okay, so as you can see, once you start to get it going, I would barely have any of that lip on this time. But yeah, once you get it going, you can kind of see down in there. That's the sidewall of the tire and the rim. Just pop loose like that. And then you repeat the same process on the other side. Just flip the C-clamp around. And you're fully debeaded. Okay, so I use these 3 Harbor Freight longer spoons for, I think they're for car tires or something they specifically say. 24-inch general purpose tire iron, I guess. Or tire spoon or something. I don't know. But they're nice. And I always put the rotor side down. And it's under this little ground tire. So it's like not sitting on the ground, so I don't mess up the rotor or damage it with the spoons or anything like that or get anything on it. What you're gonna wanna do is, since it's kind of warm in Florida and I am putting old dry rot tires on, I'm gonna go ahead and pick a tire and set it out in the sun, spray it down with some kind of lubricant to get it a little bit loosened up because it is all dry rot. And you can use WD-40 or whatever kind of lubricant you want, but this is all I have left. It's pretty hot out today. I'm gonna let it sit out in the sun, get some flex back to it, hopefully. It helps a little bit. What the actual hell is that thing? Alright, back on track. I'm gonna time lapse this, but pretty much you're gonna drive your knees into this spot to kind of push the tire that way. So you can kind of see how you get that lift right there when I push into it like this. That way you work from here and you have a little bit of leverage and it gives you a little bit of play to get the tire over the rim. And you just keep spinning the tire, or you spin yourself and work around the tire, and that's it. You'll watch. And boom, tire's off. I'm gonna go ahead and put the new one on. It's been sitting outside for a little while. I don't know if it's got a little bit more flip.
Purchase your track today.
All right, tire's on. Let's go turn the air compressor on. It's time to get loud. Okay, so once that tank over there fills up, I'm gonna go ahead and feed the tire. It's pretty loud right now, so I stepped away from the air compressor. But I'll turn it off when I try to beat it. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to sit on the tire like that. And the valve core's right there. The tank's full of air. Tool. Let's see if I can get it first try. Usually everything beads pretty easily, but sometimes it's not the case. I don't think today is gonna be an easy one. Also, you see it's pretty gapped right there, right by the valve core. So I'm gonna beat the tire on the ground, pick it up, and go like that until I can try to get it straight. Or I'm gonna try to spin the tire. Okay, so we're gonna try this again, but we're gonna sit on the valve core. Right there. Okay, well, I think I got it. Okay, got the tire flipped, old one off, new one on. It looks pretty cool. Hopefully the wheelie's good. I'm gonna go ahead and time lapse and put it all back together for you guys. Tell you what, I already don't like this tire. I think it looks weird.